All right, this is a little bit of in-class lines practice. So no new material here, just practicing what we've learned so far. Okay, so this one says write an equation in each form for the line which travels through the points in the table. So we have to do slope-intercept form and point-slope form. So what I want you to know is point-slope form is easier, okay? Point slope form is always going to be, not always, but point slope form is 99% of the time going to be easier because you need a point and the slope, okay? If you look for slope-intercept form, you need the slope and the y-intercept. The y-intercept is 0, something, and that's not in my table. So I can figure out what it is, okay? But it's easier just to start with point slope form. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start by doing point slope form. So to write in point slope form, I need a point. Okay, I can pick any point that I want. I pick the first one. And then I need the slope. So if I need a slope, it either needs to be given to me, which it's not, or I need 2 points. I have 4 points total, so I'm going to use the first 2 points. And then I'm going to call this x, y, x, y. This is my first point. This is my second. So now I'm going to find the slope. So remember, slope is m equals, it's y2, which is 22, minus y1, which is a negative 10. So instead of writing a double negative, I'm going to change it to plus, over x2, which is 2, minus x1, which is a negative 2. So once again, a double negative, I'm going to make it a plus. So that's 32 over 4. So my slope is 8. So now I have the slope. Now that I have the slope, I can write in point slope form. Point slope form, remember, let's write it right underneath this here, is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Oops, there we go. So let's write it. Y minus, and then I said y1 was a negative 10. So instead of writing, negative 10, I'm going to put plus 10 equals m, which I just got is 8, times x minus x1 I have is a negative 2, so instead of writing double negative, I'm going to write plus 2. That's not the only correct answer because you could have said this was your point instead. So you could have done y minus 22 equals 8 times x minus 2. Or you could have used this point or this point. You have 4 correct answers here for point slope form. Okay? I'm just going to get rid of it all because I don't want both. All right, next is slope-intercept form. So I want you to realize what slope-intercept form looks like. Y equals mx plus b. Now I already know the slope's 8, but I don't know what the y-intercept is exactly. Okay? Now, yes, you can use your table and figure it out by adding or subtracting your slope, but there's an easier way. All I have to do is solve this equation for y. So that's what I'm going to do right underneath it. I have y plus 10 is equal to, I have to distribute that 8. So that's 8x plus 16. And now I still have to get y by itself, so I'm going to subtract 10 from both sides. So I have y equals 8x plus 6. Okay? Also, you can think of your answer as a good answer. I know it has to be in between negative 10 and 22 because it has to be in between these two. Okay? All right, let's try this one here. Write an equation in each form for the line which travels through the points in the table. So go ahead and pause the video. Try this one yourself. See if you can do it yourself. I'm going to use these 2 points. I'm going to call this x1, y1, x2, y2. So I'm going to find my slope first. y2 is 0 minus y1, which is a negative 2, so I'm going to change it to plus, over x2, which is 3, minus x1, which is a negative 3, so I'll change it to plus 3. 2/6, which simplifies to a third. All right, I'm ready to write my point slope form. Y minus y1, which is a negative 2, so double negative makes a positive, equals m, which is 1/3, times x minus a negative 3, so double negative again, which makes positive 3. It's not the only correct answer. You could also have y minus 0 equals 1/3 times x minus 3. Or you could have y minus 2 equals 1/3 times x minus 9. All of these answers work using any point in the table. All right, now I need slope-intercept form. Remember, the easiest way is just to solve this equation for y. I have y plus 2 equals, and I have to distribute my 1/3. 1/3 times x is 1/3 x. 1/3 times 3. Remember, multiplying by a third is the same thing as dividing by 3. So that's 1. And then subtract 2. And I have y equals 1/3 x minus 1. Okay, so the last thing that we're going to do as practice is we are going to do this multi-step word problem here to make sure we're okay. So you're going to see that it's tying in 3a, which is the last chapter we did, with this new chapter 3b. Basha's pet pig had a piglet, and she wants to enter in a 4-H contest in a few months. She wants to know how fast her piglet is gaining weight, so she takes a couple measurements. After 2 months, the piglet weighs 23 pounds. After 10 months, the piglet weighs 103 pounds. What are the variables in this problem? Okay, so what's changing? We know that the pig's weight is changing, and then also we know that it's changing each month. Okay, it's changing constantly, but she's recording it each month. So x is my value that's going to be changing, that's controlled, which is my months that's going past. So this is my number of months. That's my independent variable because that's the one that's just changing on its own. Now, my dependent variable is what depends on what happens after months pass, and that's the weight change. So this is the weight of the piglet in pounds. All right, what 2 points are given in the problem? So they gave me that after 2 months, the piglet weighs 23 pounds. And they also gave me after 10 months, the piglet weighs 103 pounds. It says graph the points and draw the line which connects them. Make sure to label the axis. Now, I don't like that it says draw the line that connects them because it implies that they are connected. I would rather you think about whether or not these points are connected. Okay. All right, so I need 2 and 10 on here. So how many tick marks are there? There's 10. So I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And this was the amount of months that passed. All right, and then I need 23 through 103. And 103 is so close to 100. So I'm just going to go by tens and have that last one just be a little bit off of my chart, which is fine. So I'm going to do... by tens, I'm going to do 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. And this is the pig's weight. So I'm just going to put pig's weight in pounds. Okay, so now I'm going to graph the 2 points that I know. I know 223. 223 is about-ish, right there-ish. Okay. And then after 10 weeks, it was 103, so it's a little bit off the chart there, right? Okay, so now I have to say, do I connect these points? So obviously, yes, I'm going to connect these. Not obviously, I shouldn't say that. Yes, I'm going to connect these points. I'm going to connect these points because the pig was all weights between 23 and 103 points. And it was weights less than 23 pounds because she has the point 223. They didn't tell us what after 1 month or when the piglet was born, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect these points. I'm going to go like this way. Here we go. So what you should notice is that I didn't hit 0, 0. Because if I hit 0, 0, then it's saying when the piglet was born, it weighed 0 pounds, which is not possible, right? I'm also going to put an arrow on the end because I don't think a piglet stops growing after 10 months. At some point, it's got to level off, right? But not on our graph. Okay, write an equation in slope-intercept form. So make sure you're doing the proper form. Slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, right? So I'm going to do y equals, I need my slope. Did I find my slope yet? Nope. So let's find our slope. We have 2 points. Let's find our slope using those 2 points. We're going to do m equals y2, which is 103, minus y1, which is 23, over x2, which is 10, minus x1, which is 2. So that is 80 divided by 8. So my slope is 10. So I'm going to say y equals 10x plus, and now I need my initial amount, right? I need my initial amount, and I feel like I'm stuck, okay? So what you have to realize, and what I'm going to tell you to do, is I'm going to say, even though it says slope-intercept form, write point-slope form. Then convert it. So do this first, and then just get it into this. It's going to make your life easier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this. I'm going to move this over here. I know that's how it looks. I just don't know the b value right now. So I'm going to do y minus, and I'm going to pick one of my points. I'm going to use 223. Y minus 23 equals m, which was 10, times x minus x1, which is 2. And now I'm going to convert this into slope-intercept form. So I'm always going to start in point slope, move to slope-intercept. Y minus 23 equals 10x minus 20. And then I'm going to add 23 to both sides. Oops, 23. So I get y equals 10x plus 3. And there's my equation in slope-intercept form. All right, what does the slope represent in this situation? So the slope is 10, and what does the 10 represent? Okay, so it might be helpful to come back over here. My y value is pounds, LBS, and my x value is months. Now this is 10 over 1, so that's 10 pounds every month, right? So the pig is gaining 10 pounds per month. Okay. All right, next, what does the y-intercept represent in this situation? So the y-intercept is 0, comma. I can just look at my equation right here, 0, comma 3. And what does this mean? Okay, so this is after 0 months, the piglet weighed 3 pounds. Or, which makes more sense, the piglet was born. The piglet weighed 3 pounds when it was born. Weighed 3 pounds at birth. All right, that's it for the in-class